What's up with it, everybody? It's your boy Jay Realist TV, and I'm back with another banger. This video is crazy. I feel like if Ukraine definitely joins NATO, we're going to World War III. It is a fact. Nobody's talking about it. Everybody's trying to overlook it. But let's not go away from the fact that we're doomed. We're headed into war. Now, Ukraine doesn't need our help. They've been doing their own thing, holding it down. But if they go into NATO, it's over, y'all. It's over.
Out left, the president of Ukraine settled that question. He signed Ukraine's, quote, expedited application to formally join NATO. It's yet another slick, well-produced video from Kiev. Watch.
На вступ у пришвидшеному порядку в НАТО.
Nice pan on the handheld camera. If Ukraine joins NATO, that means world war under Article 5 of the NATO Charter. Millions die. Instead of trying to avoid that catastrophe, our media, though, is telling us that is essentially inevitable. The New Yorker, for example, just published this assessment. Quote, Fiona Hill, an expert on Russia, says that we are already fighting in the Third World War, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. Perhaps save for the whole nuclear holocaust. Over to NBC, quote, historian Michael Beschloss just compared Putin's Russia to Nazi Germany before the start of the Second World War. Why? Because Putin just announced that he's annexing territories into Russia, Ukrainian territories into Russia. Is that comparison fair? Putin to Hitler? NATO thinks so. The foreign minister of Poland just pledged that NATO countries will use nuclear weapons against Russia if Russia's strategic bombers carry out a first strike. He said it doesn't even matter if Ukraine is in NATO or not. And in Washington, you will not find a politician in either party who disagrees on that point. They all believe that defending Ukraine is worth risking Armageddon. Of course, so does Lindsey Graham. He just also compared Putin to Hitler.
I hope we'll also send a very clear signal here that we're going to have more aid in the, if we do an omnibus in December, which I hope we will, to fund the government, that we will have a robust package of military support taking Ukraine into 2023. Have we learned nothing from the last century? What should we have learned? That when it comes to bullies and crazy people who want to put the world under the thumb like Hitler, we should believe what they say. We should stand up to them sooner rather than later.
That was Republican Senator from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham. Standing right next to him, Democratic Senator from Connecticut, Richard Blumenthal. Why is virtually every politician, both parties, trying to provoke Russia into using those bombers? Let's help answer that question. Let's ask Colonel Doug Macgregor, a retired U.S. Army colonel, and he joins us now. Colonel, great to see you this evening. Just a whirlwind, whiplash of news today when it comes to Russia and Ukraine. What should we make of it?
Well, not quite what Senator Graham had to say, or for that matter, President Biden. The destruction of the pipeline was clearly not executed by Russia. No one believes that. In fact, the German population is being polled and overwhelmingly is opposed to the notion of any war with Russia and dismisses out of hand the notion that the Russians are responsible for the pipeline. I think three things are what we're dealing with right now. First of all, Putin has decided that no one in Washington will negotiate with him, and he knows that Washington is ultimately in control. And so he's decided that in response, he's got to escalate the military operation. People aren't aware of it in the West, but the Russian forces in Ukraine have always been outnumbered from the day they entered Ukraine. That's going to change rather dramatically, and I suspect the bombers that she referred to, who carry both conventional or nuclear weapons, will have conventional arms, and those bombers are probably going to be used in the escalation that we're about to witness in Ukraine. And I think he's going